All right, I need to move these outside to make it look like we're just getting them right now. Ooh, look at this beauty.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 1, 2, 3, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Woo!
Even though it's chest day, we did a few extra abs at the end there to make up for Wednesday when we were at Great Wolf Lodge.
Giving it to him.
It's raining out here, but it is supposed to clear up today, later on, hopefully.
I am gonna talk and react to some of the comments from the sex conflict vlog that we put out a couple days ago. Practically Prolific wrote, women are very cyclical in their biology in general, and their sexuality very typically reflects that. I think this is a really good point. I think it's a bit of a tangent to what the conflict that Ben and I were having, but that is actually something that Ben and I are experimenting with. She talks about how it's a well-known thing, which this is actually news to me, but that women have a strong tendency to go inward during the time of their period, and then that can be a part of their self-care during that time. This is something that Ben and I have been experimenting with, of abstaining from sex during my period. And I actually think that that is part of what brought up the conflict the other day, because for me, I'm so used to kind of operating this certain way with sex and with how we relate to one another. When that was taken away, it was really difficult for me to know what to replace that with. I tend to go on autopilot, and then when things kind of get changed up, it kind of like throws me off. So I'm actually really excited about this comment, because I actually think it's very true. There is a lot to learn about cycles and like how our body emotionally and physically is all tied together. In response to this, Ellie Goldie says, we all need time on our own, either to watch television, read a book. We're not joined to our husbands. We all know that. Ben, take a step back. Cammy wants to watch Game of Thrones instead of sex. What's the big deal? Ben, take a shower on your own. LOL. I think that this is a really simplistic way to look at our marriage issues. I think Ben and I have different personalities, and for me, it's hard to speak up, and for Ben, it's hard to not control, although I think I control in more subversive ways. This comment insinuates that if Ben would just like give me some breathing room, all of our problems would be solved. And that's just not the case. And I think Ben's learned to do that with me, but I actually appreciate Ben pressuring me sometimes. If I get pressured and then I cave, and say yes when I really should say no to honor myself, that's not Ben's fault. That's my fault. Like, I should be the one to say no. I'm a big girl. I can say that if I need to say that. And it's honestly, that's been a hard thing for me to say. Part of it, I think, is because of my upbringing. Part of it, I think, is my personality. But to make me out as the victim and Ben as the perpetrator is just not accurate. Heather, at the end of her comment, says, I want to give them, meaning her family, all my love and energy and every waking thought most of the time. But sometimes I'm just like, yep, you've exceeded my enormous capacity for empathy and patience. I'm out. I appreciate that, because that's something that I'm learning how to do in general, but I think especially in my sex life with Ben, I'm trying to figure out how to say no. It's really, really difficult for me to say it. And I actually think that that's okay for me to be at that point. Is it Ben's fault that I can't say no? No, it's not. History Lover says, we as women go through periods, cramping, labor, and childbirth, and he is upset because sex is postponed for a week during your period. He could be more supportive. I Am Wheels responds, they say, maybe so, but throughout their sex fights, it's more about being honest with each other and hearing the other work through their feelings together. Cammie even said Ben shared with her his feelings and she didn't acknowledge it. So yeah, she's on her period, but that doesn't mean she gets a free pass to ignore her husband's feelings, especially when it's feelings of wanting to show love for his wife. I really appreciate this. I don't know if I could say it any better. It's not as simple as Ben wants sex and he's not backing down. He's a much more complicated person than that. He wants other ways of me being affectionate and showing support, especially in an intimate sexual way. That's really difficult for me. And when I don't have sex to fall back on, it's even more difficult for me. And so that is what this fight was about. It was about my difficulty in being able to face that Ben has feelings, he has needs, he has wants in this area, and it's really, really hard for me to keep up on that and first of all acknowledge it, and then be able to, we use the analogy of being able to like drop things in his bucket to fill his bucket up in that way. Sandra Lewis comments and says, why bring it up at all? Ben seems to be home way too often. As if there's like a time frame that men are supposed to be home and supposed to be away. And then her first point, why bring it up at all? We bring it up because we really think that this is an important thing to talk about and to hear other people process through. In response to this, Ellie Goldie, I watch the vlogs with no sound and look at Cammie's facial expressions. I just want to give her a hug. She nods in agreement to whatever Ben says. This kind of comment pisses me off. I am not a victim here. And if I'm nodding in agreement, it's because I want to nod in agreement. No one's making me nod in agreement. I'm not trying to put on a show for you guys. I don't really believe in that, nor do I think I can even sustain that. So what you see is what you get. I don't agree with whatever Ben says, but I agree with a lot of what he says. I have my own brain and I can think for myself. Thank you very much. It's so ignorant and it's so like demeaning, I think, to me and to women who have my type of personality who are just generally more agreeable. Something else that Ellie Goldie commented was, she said something like, why do you guys talk about sex all the time? I'm gonna unsubscribe. This is gross. To that I say, go ahead and unsubscribe. No one is making you watch these vlogs. The vlogs that have the sex talks in them, we usually title, so it's very easy for you to be able just to skip. This is a warning, Ellie, because that type of commenting is not gonna work for us. If you don't have a listening tone and you are just spouting off what you believe and don't really care about a discussion or having a listening tone, we're not really interested in hearing your comments. So we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you commenting, most of you. Normally on Fridays, Ben goes out to lunch with his parents, but his parents are out of town, so he's taking me instead.
The weather is nice, it's not raining, the clouds are clear, and the sidewalks are dry. Dove, did you see what's over here? Look at these. First of all, congratulations, Jeff Bezos, on now being the richest man in the world. Do you know what these are?
No.
You wanna guess? You'll never guess this in a million years. Except you might. It's something you like. Hang on, are you sure you want to open it yet? I'll give you a hint, there's two of them.
Are they different?
No. Kind of.
Different versions?
Ish. I'm kind of nervous.
Wow. Wow.
Like 2 weeks ago, Dove said, man, can I buy rollerblades? So one pair is your size and one pair is my size.
Or mine.
Look at this. I haven't rollerbladed in like 10 years, maybe more. First thing you do is take the brake off. All right, we're ready to go. All right, it's been a little while. I'm trying to vlog well, okay. All right, can you make it up this hill? All right, here, grab my hand. All right, let's go. Oh, we made it. Whoa. What did you think of rollerblading?
It was really fun, and I thought it would be harder because that was my first time. I thought I would fall a lot more, but so I think that helped me not fall as much, maybe.
How many times did you fall?
Well, 2 real falls, and then a lot of, like, I felt like I was gonna fall, so I just kind of sat down.
Good work.
Down. Here. Rainier. Monkey say.
Rollerblading was really fun, but it's so scary because I used to be so good I mean, I used to do like a ton of like stairs and ramps, like stairs backwards, hundreds of them. And in my mind, I can still do it, but that was like 20 years ago.
Also, if you fell, you might actually break something easier than you're just not as young.
And I was getting this amazing drone footage, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go get some like intro shots. So I'm getting some of those. And then the like low battery thing comes on, and it's like, I always ignore those, just like the gas light. And then my drone just starts like saying like it's going down from like not having battery, but it's like a ways away, like 2 blocks, and I have
Like it's like, I'm going down.
Yeah,
I'm
and it was just like,
down.
it's the most
Is that what it
helpless
says?
feeling, because you just see on your screen, it's like going down, and I'm like trying to get back, but it's like gonna crash, and I don't know where it's gonna crash, and I'm like, oh, I should do it in a road, but then a car is gonna hit it, and I don't wanna do it on someone's roof, because then I'll never find it again. And I was just like, and then it was just like gone. And I was like,
Go check on him.
oh my gosh,
You go
dang
check
it.
on him.
But I could tell on my iPhone there was this one clip that I could like keep on watching that was like the last, you know, like the last known footage from the
last
black box.
sighting.
And there was this one image that I could see, and it was of this roof, and I knew like the streets that it was because my phone was telling me. So I like go back with a ladder, and I'm like knocking on people's doors, and I just see this like gray wall from the camera. But finally this guy let me in his yard, and I look down, and right under the roof in his trash can, da, 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 da. And actually my worst fear was not getting the footage of us rollerblading, but I got that. And then I spent like 2 hours trying to fix this stupid thing, and it didn't work. So I have to send it back, but it's not as broken as last time, and last time was only 236 bucks. But how cool is it being able to rollerblade with my daughter?
That's pretty cool. You and I need to go on a rollerblading date. When we first dated, Ben taught me how to rollerblade.
And I like held your hand so that you wouldn't fall, but really I just wanted to hold your hand. It's Friday night, we are done after a long week. There's a few emails that I thought were really important for me to get to for the weekend. It's kind of those tasks that seem life and death, they seem really important. That's when Shabbat really becomes real to me, because there's a lot of things that are easy to say no to, but it's actually the things that are the hardest to say no to that I've realized I need the most rest from. Those are the things that like tend to define who I am. And in this case, this email, I want to be known as a good friend, I want to be known as a good family member, I want to be known as a good business partner. But you have to stop at some point and say, you know, I'm not saved by those things. So rest is a discipline, it's a celebration, and it's a reminder that our identity lies in how God sees us. And when He sees us, we believe that Jesus died for us, and what that means is when He sees us, He sees the only perfect man that ever walked the planet. The only person that ever claimed to be a perfect man. That wasn't insane. Yeah, that's that. We're gonna go to the Chinese buffet tonight. The kids voted. There it is.
Poor Eden. She's the only one who wanted pizza.
Hey, it's hard being in this family. I'm excited to see what she said to the camera. I didn't see her, what she recorded today in my office. We'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys find rest this weekend. Have a good weekend.
Shabbat Shalom.
Ooh.